running 5 small businesses, it's really, really important for me to understand when I need to be pushing forward, when I need to be making better deals, focusing on building foundations in my business.
You can see how much goes into, it's not just being spiritual, it's not just your sign, just like the entry level. There's a frequency.
This is understanding where you need to take a step back and go inward a little bit and maybe do some self-work on yourself.
I want to spread the word about energy and attracting and the law of attraction.
You have to be really kind to your mind. When things start to come in while you're meditating, notice it and then let it pass on by.
I want to spread the word about energy and attracting and the law of attraction because I learned from Think and Grow Rich, Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor and Think and Grow Rich taught me how to pay attention to rewiring the brain. All right, so if you are watching this video right now and you are a business owner, stick around because we will be talking about something a little bit different. There's a lot of information out there on how to maybe get an edge, on how to make more sales, on how to, upgrade your whole sales department. But what we will be talking about today, it's a little bit different and you'll see why. So stick around because today with me, I have the one and only Cassandra from Sharp Souls. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to have this conversation because when she first talked to me about this, my immediate thought was like, more business owners, more people need to know about this because it's 2026. I feel like more of you guys need to be aligned with your goals and it'll help you have a better life and an easier way of conducting yourself. Here we go. Let's get into it. So we have some questions because I don't think many of you are very knowledgeable or understand a lot about this topic. So we have a list of questions that we will be going through and Cassandra will be explaining and going into depth about all of these questions. So here we go, you guys. So question number 1. All right, Cassandra, what is the Power Year Blueprint?
So the Power Year Blueprint is pretty much a blueprint that is about strategic timing. So it's a tool that you can use for strategic timing. And it's also pretty much a business forecast. And what this is if you could think of it in the aspect like how farmers use seasons to do different crops, or how people that are investing use the market to know when they should buy, when they should sell, that type of thing. Our Power Year Blueprint is using astrology cycles to look at the different planetary cycles that are being used within a person's certain birth chart. So this is a really unique way of looking at a person's birth chart and kind of predicting the year for them. I'm not trying to predict every single thing that's going to happen in somebody's life, but we're just basically going off of specific things in the year that they're going to need to know with business and how to just be very strategic about it. I'm pretty much looking at it like a weather forecast for the year. It's your entrepreneurial journey.
Perfect. This is fascinating, and the reason why this is fascinating to me is because when you study successful people, anyone who's excel in their field, in their career, there's a certain level where when you get to where the habits that you had before you need to upgrade them, you need to work on them. And what I noticed from these type of individuals is they're very aligned on their health, their finances, their spirituality. They're very, very aligned. And it got me to think. It got me to think, and it got me to be on the lookout for this type of information. And when I found Cassandra and we started talking about this, I was just mind blown that she had so much knowledge. And I'm 100% sure that you guys can benefit from this. And if you start applying some of the stuff that we will be talking about today, I have no doubt that you will start seeing the results. By the way, if at any point, whether you do content creation, whether you have a business, at any point you apply some of the stuff that we're talking about today, please come back and let us know. Whether send me a DM, send her a DM. Our socials will be on in the description below. So because I really want to know how some people will use this information. So here we go. Question number 2. For anyone who's ignorant or new to astrology, Can you please explain what it is?
Yeah. So at the moment that you were born, the planets were in a certain position and in a very specific way. So that's what's called your birth chart. And when you think of your birth chart, you can look at it as an energetic blueprint. And with the planets continuing to move all the time, nothing is ever staying the same. Everything is changing. You can see where your natural strengths are at, where your leadership styles are at, and also where communication patterns are at, and some challenges that come across throughout the year. And when you were born, the planets create different seasons and different cycles. So what I do whenever I'm doing this is I'm analyzing your birth chart. I'm analyzing the way that the planets are positioned and the different energies that are happening throughout the year and the different cycles that you're in. And I'm using that in business, relationships, leadership skills, and also things that could be helpful for your personal growth.
This is, guys, listen to me. This is great information. I myself started applying all of this year, and I've seen a drastic change in the way I conduct business, in the way I attract people, in the way I attract business partners. So this is just something. It feels like magic. It just feels like magic when you start applying all of this stuff. It's fascinating. All right, so here we go. Question number three. What are the benefits of knowing my year blueprint?
So knowing the benefits of your power year blueprint is the biggest takeaway is perception. So many entrepreneurs think that there is something wrong when they hit a resistance, and that doesn't always necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It could just mean that you're going through a cycle in your life in which you need to kind of pull back and go inward a little bit. And sometimes it could mean that you're in a season that's asking you to refine, restructure, or even build a stronger foundation for yourself. And the forecast that I make is helping you understand when to be patient, when to expand, when to invest, when to focus on visibility, when to focus on the systems that are at hand, and also when major pivots are likely to be happening. And this way that you can learn how to respond strategically rather than thinking that the resistance is something negative.
Guys, think about this. When you run a business, you have to wear so many hats. You're constantly paying attention to sales. You have to pay attention to your employees. You have to keep an eye on your P&Ls, on your statements, on how to attract more customers. There's so much that goes into it. Think about having an understanding on when to pivot. Some of the questions, read some of them again for me, please.
Yeah. So when to be patient.
When to be patient.
When to expand.
When to expand.
When to invest.
I mean, come on. What else?
And when you need to focus on your visibility, systems.
And
also when pivots are most likely to happen, you can really understand and maybe take a step back and go inward a little bit.
If you were to apply every single one of the things that Cassandra just mentioned, I promise you that you will see insane results in your business, which is why I love this conversation, which is why she's here, because I believe more people should know about this. It will make your life 1,000 times better. But let's keep it going because this is so much fun. As you can tell, I'm very excited. This is very fun for me, and I'm so glad that she decided to come, because Cassandra is not someone who likes to put herself out there, because you guys are mean sometimes on the comments. But here we go. Question number 4. How did you learn about astrology?
I've always been very fascinated by human behavior and also by personal growth, and studying the personal growth from me and applying astrology to my personal growth has been life-changing for me. And I'm very into spirituality as well, which goes hand in hand with that. And I also really love understanding why people go through certain cycles that they go through in their lives. And it just makes so much sense when you can look at it from that standpoint. And I started studying astrology on a much deeper level once I started really understanding what it was. And I was really interested in the personal traits that I had with it. And I applied it to my business, and I paid a lot of attention to the timing of it because timing is really, really important. There's certain times, which we'll get into later, there's certain times in the month that even if it's just for a week that you really need to pay attention to step forward into that and to use your power with it. And it made a huge difference in my life. And yeah, the deeper I studied it, the more powerful self-awareness and planning that I had.
I love it. I love it. This she's very knowledgeable in this realm. There's a lot of um there's so much information that goes into this because you this is physics, astrology, this is energy, universe. It's so much that goes into it, which I have not had the time to study. So when I encounter someone with that much knowledge, my mind is very curious. I immediately want to know. I because I don't know about you guys, but I am of the mindset anything that helps me be better, I'm all for it. I want to know, I want to understand because I'm trying to speed up the process of learning and getting better and becoming better. So this is just great. All right, here we go. Question number 5. Have you applied all of this to your business, to your businesses, or
yes, you know? Absolutely. Like I just said, I'm running 5 small businesses, so it's really, really important for me to understand when I need to be pushing forward, when I need to be making better deals, when I should be focusing on building foundations in my business. And I learn to roll with the seasons that I'm going through. And when I do that, I could tap more into my growth, my visibility, my expansion. I could even know when is the best time for me to be looking into marketing and when I should be scheduling retreats, you know, when I'm most creative. So a lot of these seasons that I've learned that we go through in the year have been really, really helpful in all of my businesses that I'm running.
This is beautiful, you guys. I'll tell you this. I'm of this new marketing type of era, meaning the running your ads, the flyers, all of that stuff. And when I compare the way I run my business to the way she runs her businesses, what I notice is her organic funnel or the way in which she acquires customers is just so beautiful because I'm over here trying to optimize for ad revenue and trying to mess with the system, and sometimes we'll get a lot of exposure but no leads or no qualified leads, and you know we continue to iterate because it's just part of the game. Meantime, Cassandra's over here just getting people left and right. She's getting called all the time very organically because word spreads, and it's just I'm like, wow, I'm doing something. There's something I'm doing that's not right. And so it works. This is, keep paying attention. This is just wild, you guys. Here we go. Question number 5? No, number 6. All right, here we go, guys. Question number 6. In your opinion, who will benefit the most from a year blueprint forecast?
The people that will benefit the most are builders. So anybody that is a business owner, an entrepreneur, a visionary, people that are creating something bigger than yourself. You are somebody that needs to start tapping into, you know, you're running a business, so you need to use the tools that you have. And people that are entering new chapters or people that want clarity on where they're at and where they need to be directing their energy. It's also valuable for people going through transitions, and it really helps them understand the bigger picture that they are trying to unfold.
Is this you? Are you one of these people, one of these persons that she mentioned? Are you going through a transition? Are you running a business? I mean, you can see how much goes into, it's not just being spiritual. It's not just your sign. Are you a Leo, Capricorn, this and that? It's not just that. That's like, just like the entry level. There's a frequency. There's a vibration that we move and we function ourselves at. And understanding everything that Cassandra is talking about just helps you optimize your energy, your vibration, the stuff that you're attracting. It's just this is just great. So here we go, guys. Question number 7. This blueprint forecast. Do I need to do this in person with you, or can we get it done online, or how would it work?
Yeah, no, you definitely don't need to be in person with me. The reason being is that I only need your birth chart. So once I can look at your birth chart, I get all the information that I need. It's actually easy to do it online. I'll just ask you a couple questions and then I'll go from there, and that's how I create it. I do it digitally, that way that I give you all of the information and you have a chance to go back and revisit it whenever you need to throughout your year.
Okay, so that's very convenient. So now you guys, you don't have to be in person. You can do it online. That's very convenient in this day and age, because I know we're all running around. So if you have some time, which I know you do, you can schedule a Zoom call with Cassandra. You can contact her directly and you can get your business forecast done. This is
Email
great.
me, message me.
There we go. She's very active.
It's easy to get the information, and then
Perfect. Here we go, guys. Moving on to the next question. Can you share any examples of how have you been able to apply this?
Yeah, so I'm just going to give a very broad example that could apply to anybody, and then I'm going to go into the forecast that I gave to Kevin and kind of go off some examples that we did with him. And I did his forecast at the beginning of this year, so he's been applying all of these things up until now. And a very broad example would be a major Jupiter expansion cycle that is activating a career sector in somebody's life. So if somebody's going through a Jupiter expansion, they're more visible, they're attracting opportunities, they're launching new offers, they're setting new standards in their business, they're making documentations, and they're expanding their audience if this is what they're going through in a month. And when people know this, they can plan ahead of time in this really new and exciting expansion time that they're going through. And I also have some examples from Kevin. So
Here we go.
We'll start with the most recent. Okay, let's just start with April. So in April, Kevin's chart said that his Uranus was shaking up his 11th house, which is his house of networks. This was an unexpected opportunity, a friend, a new technology idea, a new collaboration could appear suddenly. And your activation for this was April 8th through the 18th. And this means that all of your innovation was paying off for that time. So if you could think back to April, if this was something that actually did happen to you in that month, and if that was helpful for you in that situation. And then also this month, I thought it'd be fun to go through this month since we just started June. June is a really big power dynamic for you. So you are forced to confront control patterns in business. And this is kind of like a level up and reset month for you. You have a commitment window, and that window is going to be June 10th through the 28th. And during this time, there's going to be some defining conversations that you need to have with people in business, and some big intentions and decisions that you need to kind of be ready for when it's going to happen. So those are just some examples from him. And obviously, when I do this, you get a lot more examples, a lot more dates that you need to be looking at. And yeah, it's just really fun. But these are really big things that you're going to be going through in your month. So
guys, if you're listening to this and you're like, I need to know this, I'm telling you, you can literally map out your whole year and you know what's coming. You will know, you will be conscious of it. You will see it coming. And some of the examples that she mentioned on my forecast, I know this. We're filming this and there's a Monday coming, and I already know what I have to do on Monday. I already know who I need to talk to, and it just happens like beautifully. Everything fits like a glove because I know what I have to do at the exact time and when it's going to happen. And I tell myself, oh, this is that. And Cassandra mentioned this and I can see it. Like, I need to talk to this person. I need to have this conversation. I need to let this person go. I need to improve this about myself. I need to stop doing less. I need to be more focused on this stuff. And I have applied this. And the amount of growth that I've had the first half of 2026, it's just fascinating. It's fascinating because it's saving me so much pain, so much running around in loops and not knowing how to figure it out. And by the way, this helps a lot with being more at ease, more in control, less frantic, less nervous, if I can say. Or it can help if you have anxiety, all of that stuff. It can help with all of that, which in terms like it helps you heal inside because your body doesn't feel like it's constantly fighting, like it's tense. So it's like a dance. It's beautiful because you are business, like deal making and business. It's almost like a dance and knowing how to do it. So applying all of this to your deal making, to your businesses, to your year forecast. It's just fascinating, as you can hear everything she's saying. And I've been applying this. I am an example. So you can ask me any questions you have. You can send me a DM and I can share with you how, like in more details, how has this helped me be better. So yeah, I love this part. So here we go. Let's go into the next question. So is a forecast something you notice in the physical realm or in the mind of a business owner?
So I notice it in both. The mindset kind of shifts first. And once their mindset shifts, I see people kind of start questioning old identities that they have, developing new goals that they want to set, and feeling pulled towards different directions. And this is really, really good because this is being more intentional about the decisions that you're making in business. This is understanding where you need to take a step back and go inward a little bit and maybe do some self-work on yourself, because the next chapter that's coming up, let's say next month, is going to need your full attention, and it's going to need your full mind and your full body, and you need to be ready for all of the attentions that you are being able to set the month before. I often see that the internal changes that are happening show up externally after that. So the external part of it is whenever they're showing improvements in their decisions, their partnerships, their leadership skills, the opportunities that are flowing to them, and the financial growth. I'm really, really big on the law of attraction. So that's where this comes in at. And the law of attraction is pretty much when you are putting yourself in a higher frequency, when you're vibrating at a certain rate, and everything else that is on that certain frequency is finding you and coming to you. You're almost like a magnet for those things to come into your life. So when you're planning things in a strategic way, when you're learning how to raise your vibration, everything else is going to be coming into your life that is meant to come into your life. All the other things that aren't really necessarily supposed to be there, or partnerships, or even going into friendships or relationships, everything else will kind of just fall off and make room for everything that is supposed to come into your life. And that makes it really, really easy for your business. It makes it very organic, and it makes it very easy in decision making.
I love this. You know why I love this? Because this means the people who are supposed to find you will find you. Those people will come to you, and they will come to you with beautiful opportunities that you couldn't even imagine. And again, one of the big reasons why we're here, why are we doing this? It's because hustle culture or the sales culture teaches you to be proactive, which is fine. You're out there, you're trying to get people, but you can get lost in the sauce. You can fall into the trap of chasing and chasing and chasing, and you can get burnt out, which guess what? It happened to me. Last year, I got so burnt out that I just wanted to crawl into bed and like a fetal position and cover myself. And I'm like, I don't want to do any more business because I'm just burnt out from working till the morning until night. And I see myself not making any more money and draining my energy. That's the thing. Like, you're draining your energy. So from the moment you wake up and you take the world on, you wake up, you're spending energy. So wouldn't it make sense for you to know where you are spending your energy instead of just go, 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 go? If you have to go out there and make money, if you have to go out there and talk to people, if you have to go out there and shake hands, it makes sense that you are shaking hands with the correct people. It makes sense that you are meeting the right kind of people, and it makes sense that you are conducting the right type of business instead of just doing a whole bunch of stuff that you don't even know what's going to lead to. So this is this is a big one. So there, just on this question alone, we can spend like a whole hour, because it is true. You should be attracting instead of chasing, and that will save you so much trouble, and it will conserve your energy to a point that, I mean, this is just revolutionary. The reason why I say this is because guys tend to dismiss this type of information. For guys, this might be like girl talk, or there's a misconception about this, and I want to spread the word about energy and attracting and the law of attraction, because I learned from Think and Grow Rich, Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor and Think and Grow Rich taught me how to pay attention to rewiring the brain, and I had never thought about that before. And so that's when I really started paying attention to. And I advise every one of you guys to, if you haven't read the book Think and Grow Rich, it's not a humongous book. It's a simple book. It's beautiful, and it goes into detail about attracting, and who can you become, and who do you need to be. So yeah, this is, I love this topic. So here we go, you guys. Now, I've noticed, I've been going out recently, and I noticed there's a whole wave of young kids that just graduated from high school, or maybe some college kids. So I see you guys out there. You're hungry. You just left school. You're ready to take on the world, and it's a different world in 2026. It's a way different world than when I grew up. And so, Cassandra, for those young kids that are just now leaving school and then coming into the world, any word of advice for the young business owners, because you are someone who you run successful businesses, and you are someone who applies so many of these tools to your businesses, and they're able to help you. So you have so much data from, you have a track record. So for those kids that are watching, for those young ones out there, do you have any advice? Do you have any anything that can help them prepare themselves for what they're about to get themselves into?
Yeah. So I would advise to not just focus on strategy, but to focus on sustainability. So I see a lot of people living outside of their bodies a lot of the time, rather than coming back in and being grounded and living within their bodies. So many people are like, go from one thing to the next. And we actually need to take a step back and come in and realize what the reality of our living situation is, our business situation, our life situation is. And this will really help keeping people from burning out from themselves. And a lot of people think that being successful is doing more and more and more, and that's not how life needs to be. The most successful entrepreneurs that I've seen learn to work with cycles like these. So that's why this is such an important tool to be able to bring into your everyday life and to your business life. The biggest example that I could kind of say is that there's a season for planting, there's a season for building, there's a season for harvesting. So you need to know your strengths, you need to invest in your relationships, and then you also need to be building systems early while staying adaptable.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful because it's a simple concept, and it makes so much sense, because humans and life work in a cycle. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it's beautiful outside, the sun is shining, sometimes it's very hot, sometimes it's cold. So what do you need to be doing during a different cycle? Sometimes you might be working super hard. You might be working for a whole season, building, grinding, and then once that stops, you collected a lot of data. Analyze that data, and then it will tell you what to do on your next season. The next season, you might be more efficient. You might be optimizing. You might be removing a lot of the stuff that doesn't need to be there and implementing new stuff, but also knowing how to implement the new stuff, knowing how to identify all of these details in your life and in your business will help you so much to avoid so many headaches. So this is thank you for letting the kids know. This is great advice. And I would say to you guys, if you have any questions, send Cassandra a DM. She will reply to you guys if you're out there, because this is very, very valuable stuff. So now we have a bonus question for you guys out there.
I have something else to say on that also. I don't think that anybody should be taking or interpreting a challenge in a reason to quit. And I also think that the very thing that is testing you is also there to show you that it's bringing you to the next level. So kind of like initiations with the universe. Don't always look at something that feels like it's bad or negative in a reason to quit, because once you get through that, you'll realize why you needed to go through that, and it gets you to the next level that you need to be at.
Let's talk about that real quick, because some people, I've noticed, you have the very excited folks, and then you have some of the folks that are in a lower vibration. How can they? How does that manifest? Like if I'm on a lower vibration and I'm feeling sorry for myself, or I'm doubting myself, or I'm mad at the outcomes, versus I have the mindset of let's go, let's just keep on trying, let's just iterate, let's pivot. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So whenever you're focusing on the bad, or whenever you're focusing on the negative or the low vibration, you're going to keep on getting that in return. You need to shift your mindset into thinking that nothing is bad, nothing is negative, and instead saying that everything is necessary. So although this may look like a setback, or this may look like something that feels uncomfortable to me, as long as you change your mindset into thinking, okay, I need to get through this in order to get to the next level. This is going to make me into a better person. This is going to make my business better. So mindset shift is so important. You cannot be feeling sorry for yourself or looking at everything as being bad or being mad all the time, because everything that is meant to come to you can't come to you. You're attracting everything else in that vibration.
Well, Cassandra, some would say that's easier said than done, because when I go into the world and I encounter people cutting me off and I don't get the results that I want, I work, and there's many factors that I encounter throughout my day. How do I get myself out of that mindset of everything is just happening and nothing, I'm not making any progress, to the mindset? Because in that moment, it feels like you feel like the weight of the world in your shoulders. So are there any tools, are there any exercises, anything that I can do to when I'm in that moment, I can apply some of this and help me get out of that into a better mindset? Anything that you can think of?
This could literally be a whole nother podcast in itself, but a couple of tools that are really helpful is, first of all, practice. Just keep on practicing. Every time that you get yourself in a mindset of thinking negatively, either you can say cancel, and that cancels out what you were just thinking, and then just shift your mindset. Or I learned something from Mel Robbins where you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, you shift your mindset into something more positively. And the number one thing that is going to really, really help you in all aspects of your life is meditation. And I know that meditation obviously isn't going to be easy at first, but you have to continue to practice it. You do so much in a day that you at least owe 10, 15 minutes to yourself to just sit with yourself in a day. That way that you can learn how to deal with situations in which makes you feel a certain type of way whenever it happens.
So I don't need to meditate for like a whole hour.
No, you don't need to meditate for a whole hour. 10, 15 minutes a day is going to do so much for your life.
Okay. And in terms of a setup, what do I need to for this 10, do I need to be in the floor? Do I need to be in a couch? You
could meditate anywhere that you want to. It's just really important to make sure that you're sitting up and your spine is parallel and the top of your head is facing up. So don't meditate laying down. Just make sure that you're in a comfortable seat. Close your eyes, and it's okay if things come into your mind. Just let it pass and just sit with yourself. You can meditate with music if that helps. You can meditate with somebody guiding you through it. You can meditate in silence. Just set your alarm for 10, 15 minutes and just sit with it.
And what should I be focusing on? Because, we have some analytical people watching this type of clips. And so for those people who need to know every single detail, Should my mind be focused on what? Or should I just empty my mind?
You should empty your mind. But that's really hard for us because we're on the go, go, go all the time. So you have to be really kind to your mind. And what that means is when things start to come in while you're meditating, notice it and then let it pass on by. So don't sit there and keep on looping and thinking about the same things over and over again. Notice what's coming in and then just let it pass and then go back in. You can use your breath. Breath is really important during this time. Just focusing on your breathing really helps with meditation. And yeah, be kind to your mind.
I'll give you guys an example because I wasn't always doing this content creation, running an agency. And at some point I worked a 9 to 5. It was more like late hours. It was more like 11 to 8 or 9 p.m. But I used to work like many of you guys out there. So what I would do, you get your half an hour lunch break, it's horrible. I need an hour because I'm a hungry boy. But anyways, I would go into the bath. I would eat my meal, or before eating my lunch, I would go in the bathroom and I would close my eyes for 10 minutes and I would just breathe, and it would block away all of those, all of the gossip from your coworkers. It would give me some perspective of what I was doing. It would make me feel present in my life, and it would give me clarity on what I needed to do next to be able to get away and plan out my exit strategy from my current situation. So that's a way in which I did it. So hopefully, so maybe that helps some of you guys, because I know so many people like to say, well, I don't have time. I don't know how to do this. You really don't need much. You can do this in your car. You can do this anywhere. You can just close your eyes. And again, like Cassandra said, practice, practice, practice. This is the compounding effect. It's like going to the gym. The more you practice something, the better you will become at it. Ease your way into this. Don't be hard on yourself. Like she said, be kind to your mind and ease your way. Grab a whole month and be like, how many days out of this month can I meditate, and can I see progress in my mind after trying this for a while? So this is just some pointers for you guys out there. Now we're going to go into some of the bonus questions. This is when I learned about these portals, I was fascinated because I had no idea about this. And Cassandra will tell me, put it on your calendar from this day to that date. There is a portal opening up, might be gate 24, gate 34, different numbers. And I caught myself calling my business friends, and I'm telling my friends, hey, did you know there is a portal? And you know how the boys are. They're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? And I'm like, there's a portal, and it's good for manifestation. It's good for this, and it's good for that. I mean, try it and do it. And now I'm telling you, I'm very awake now. I have my boys on portals, taking magnesium, sleeping better, all of this stuff. So let's tell the people. So take some notes, like pause or take some notes, because so you can put this into your calendar. So let's go into some of the portals that are coming up for the second half of the year.
Okay, so your blueprint is going to be specifically for you and what you're going through, but also the universe is moving on cycles as well, and it's affecting everybody all at one time as a collective. And some big things to be looking for the rest of the year. July, we have July 7th through the 12th is going to be the gate 34 activation. And this is in your pure manifestation power. So this is a really good time for business. This is really good time for healing events. This is like supercharging the way in which you're going to be setting up the rest of your months that are to come. So pay attention to gate number 34. And just during this time, push yourself and set intentions before you go into it to understand what it is that you're really wanting to manifest in business and what type of healing that you want to be doing for yourself. Maybe this is the time that you're going to be scheduling a healing retreat that you're going to go to, or maybe this is the time that you want to talk and starting a business with a person that you've been wanting to start a business with. This is a really good activation time.
Perfect. Any other portals?
We have the Lionsgate portal every year, August 8th, 8/8 every year, the biggest manifestation day of the whole year. So I tell everybody, set your intentions, everything that you want to accomplish for the rest of the year, everything that you want to see clearly, relationships that you kind of want to get rid of or let kindly fall off so that you can make room for better. 8/8 is the day that you could be setting these intentions. The whole day is a very powerful day. And then there's a lot that we could get into, but I'll just say one more that really big, powerful day is, it's called the Gate 46 embodiment. It is a fate activation, and this is going to be October 9th through October 14th. This is really good for going within yourself. So if you've been living outside of yourself for the past couple months during this time, it's time to take a step inward. It's time to ground yourself. It's time to do things that you need to do for yourself. This has nothing to do with business. This has nothing to do with your friends, your family. This has to do with yourself. This is a really good time to be planning travel for yourself. This is a good time to be doing body work, healing work. Maybe you want to tap into some plant medicine. Maybe you want to get your creative juices flowing and see where that takes you. So that's October 9th through the 14th. It's just a really short window, but really powerful.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that with us and the audience. But guys, let me tell you something. I have applied all of that to myself. I literally type those dates. I don't know which calendar to use. I just put them on my iPhone because that works for me. And I'll go about my business. I'll continue to do live, obviously taking all of this as I conduct myself out there. And then I will look at my phone and I'm like, wow, that meeting came in. I was not even expecting that. And then I look on my phone and I'm like, oh, we are actually in this type. This is just, you can call it whatever, but it's a frequency. You're matching that frequency and it happens. And I saw it continuing to happen more and more and more, where things were happening during the periods that she was saying. And I'm just such a curious person that I want to know more. And it's fascinating because I noticed everything which is falling into place, as Cassandra was saying, for the rest of the year. So I am an advocate for this. I apply this to myself. I let anyone around me know about this because I want to be known as somebody who shares information, someone who connects people, someone who helps your network be better, help yourself be better. So this is the reason why we did this podcast today. So again, Cassandra, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Anything else you want to let the people know?
You can get a hold of me. I'm sure that we'll be putting this in the comments, but you can get a hold of me through my Instagram. You can message me conscious_case, CASE, and just send me a DM and I'll just ask you a couple questions. That way that I could get your forecast, your blueprint created for you. And yeah, I think that it's important to learn that we're going on different seasons and not everything means that you need to take such strong action on it. Or I think it's important to know when we should slow down, when we should speed up, when we should be moving faster in business. And yeah, it's really, really helpful tools to have throughout your year.
There you have it. Want to know which season you are on right now? Do you want to learn more about how to be better during those seasons? Contact Cassandra. And as always, thank you for watching and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Let's go.
Thank you.